Hey there, fiends! I'm doing something a little stupid because I'm itching to draw a Pokemon again. It was my childhood and I can't help it. Anyway, I'm rolling on 2 D100 tables based on the beasts that you submitted. One is a list of Pokemon and the other is a list of D&D monsters. And I'm gonna fuse the two together into one abomination. Alright, let's get rolling. Alright, we've got 7. Oh, and note, the D10s are considered zeros. The Google ruler doesn't have D100s for whatever reason. So 7, that's Trapinch. Nice. Then we have 90, which is a Revenant. This is what we're gonna start with, okay. Alright then. Oh no. Alright, so combining Trapinch and essentially a zombie with a vendetta, the Revenant, my mind immediately goes to a sort of ambusher undead creature. Since Trapinch is an antlion with an absurdly huge mouth, like 75% mouth, it's the main feature of the Pokemon. I knew I had to incorporate that somehow. So meet the Mourner's Mire, the necromantic byproduct of an incredibly toxic relationship that lingers even past death. It preys on grief and hides itself in fresh grave dirt. Once the Mourner's Mire senses something above it, it ensnares the victim using its jaw-like limbs and wraps the prey in a toothy embrace. Once the Mourner's Mire bites a target, it has a chance of leaving a lingering charm which only manifests after 8 hours. Even if the target escapes, they soon receive the strong urge to visit the cemetery again. Perhaps the monster just needed a hug, and it was all a grave misunderstanding. Also, artist's note, if you have a Mourner's Mire in your life, please cut them out. Maybe not with a long sword, but just make some sound wisdom saves and yeah, just take care of yourselves. Alright? Alright. Okay, moving on. Okay, second roll. Let's go. First is 72, which is a Saucebuck. And the second, which is 58, is a Grick. Okay, I did say abominations, so this is working out, I guess. Oh no. Oh boy, so weirdly we've got another trap creature fusion, but this time the genres are reversed. So Saucebuck is a deer creature, deer Pokemon, with perfect camouflage for every season. It comes with several form changes that are really, really beautiful. I like their design a lot, though I never really used them in game. Then you have the Grick, which is a ceiling worm that ruins every low-level adventurer's parade in a dungeon. So combining the two, we need to bring that ambush element to a whole new dangerous level. We're talking trees. The happening is happening, folks, and it all started with a new Grick subspecies called the Trick. Adapted to a forest terrain, these shifting stalkers congregate around well-traveled paths and pick off unassuming adventurers with a snap of their sharp beak. While their movement is slow, they make up for their sluggish girth with their ranged strikes they make with their serpentine heads. Tricks are covered in thick bark-like hide, which makes them quite a challenge to even seasoned fighters. Thankfully, their disguise shares some of the downsides to their likeness, as tricks are quick to flee from fire and are vulnerable to slashing damage. Adventurers that survive an encounter with a pack of tricks never really fully recover. They always will be watching if the trees are moving ever closer. Alright, third roll, 19, Absol. Oh, I love that one. And 42, the answer to life, the universe, and metallic dragon. This is gonna look badass. I love both of these. Yeah. Okay. So Absol, one of my favorite Pokemon. It's great Pokemon. Loved using it so many instances. Anyway, Absol is a Pokemon that normally gets a sour reputation because it's often seen right before a great disaster, even though it's meant to warn people of such events. Metallic dragons similarly can get sort of a rise out of adventurers despite being good-natured. I mean, it is a big dragon. So both creatures are cases of deceptive appearances, so I really feel that there aren't enough good-aligned monsters that tickle the party's combative inclinations. So most groups know to, like, when there's an angel or celestial or whatnot, to stow their sword. But, you know, what if a good creature actually looked fairly sinister? So, herein is the unfortunate circumstance of the Tatzelworm. A creature with gleaming dark scales, deep sanguine red eyes, and hooked talons, but a tender heart. These draconic shadow cats reside in frigid tundras close to human settlements, and often form a mutual bond with its inhabitants. The Tatzelworm, acting like an oversized Saint Bernard, protects travelers from the dangers of the frozen wastes, while the town, in turn, provides food offerings and small shelters for the guardian beast. Adventurers may find on their path towards a Tatzel-warded town rudimentary shrines that are mildly indicative of enlarged doghouses, as well as flayed game dangling from hooks hung on trees. Should a party find itself overwhelmed deep in the cold lands, a Tatzelworm might carry them to the warmth of its den. But let's hold out hope that the group does not judge a beast by its dark scales. Okay, fourth roll. 65. Mr. Mime. Oh god. Crossed with 13. Kuatoa. Okay, we're back to abominations, folks. I'll try not to make it too nightmarish. Oh no. Oh jeez. Mr. Mime is one of those early Pokemon designs that just kind of make you go, who greenlit this? Any of the humanoid Pokemon really creep me out, but oddly, this one really ties in well to Kuatoa. The Kuatoa shares the ability to make the imagined real, and their faith is so strong that new gods spring forth from their prayers. This combination of creatures is, it's gonna spell some doom for players. So, I bring you the Kuatoa Scion, a godly Kuatoa that sprung forth from the minds of its lesser kin. Unlike its brethren, its reality-warping power is entirely self-sufficient, and is put to quick use on those who don't play along. Despite its terrifying psionic prowess, it's actually an oddly childish creature that is easily placated with the promise of fun games. Although playing with a Kuotoa Scion might be fun at first, adventurers quickly discover that playtime for this god never ends. One of the Scion's most sinister skills is the ability to shrink the party to mere inches tall and imprison them into a miniature faux town or dollhouse, complete with puppeteered illusions to keep the fun going. Escaping from this nightmare takes some cunning, as the naive Scion, while powerful, can easily be felled by a well-orchestrated deception. Okay, fifth and final roll, 83, Mimikyu. Oh, so cute. And, 47. Oh no. Oh no. No! I don't know how to make this cute, guys. Cadaver collector. Okay. Okay. This combo. Oh my jeez. In my head, I was thinking, oh man, anything with Mimikyu could be so cute. I was wrong. But anyway, Mimikyu is an oddly innocent ghost Pokemon, compared to most. It covers its horrific appearance with a ragged Pikachu costume in order to attract the love and attention of a trainer. Cadaver Collector, inversely, covers itself in corpses to intimidate and attack foes. So, this is a bit of a paradox creature, but nonetheless, I present to you the Death Shroud. The Death Shroud is a rare consequence of wayward necromancy from a miscast race dead spell that leached onto a burial cloth. The small scrap of fabric hit by the spell transforms into an awakened creature which quickly tears itself free, often taking a limb or two with it. This bizarre construct has the uncanny ability to animate and control any corpse it covers, and its collection is ever-growing as it follows the aftermath of a typical adventuring party. Strangely, this creature can develop an accord with its adventurers as it leaves trinkets and gold at their campsites as thanks for their contributions. As its intelligence increases with its amassing hoard, a Death Shroud will crave rarer creatures to add to its collection, and even may make specific requests for the party. A large shroud has an uncanny knack for gleaning lost memories from the dead, and will happily trade valuable information and spells for a pristine corpse. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this weird art game. Please leave a comment if you'd like me to do a part 2 video with more fusions. I've also included some links to the stat blocks I made for these creatures if you'd want to use them in your D&D 5e games. You can find them in the description below. They aren't playtested, so fair warning. Thanks again to my lovely Patreon peeps. You guys are wonderful, thank you, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!